Raw Chef. Forget everything you know about cooking because we are going to teach you how to do it without a stove or a microwave or any type of fire. You won't burn yourself in my kitchen. I'll teach you how to make pizza, pasta, sushi, burritos, cheeseburgers, and french fries out of simple, organic, vegan, and raw produce. So get ready to get raw. Hi, I'm Juliano. Welcome to Raw, the uncooking show. Today we're making milk, we're making strawberry parfaits, and a bunch of other stuff. But we're going to focus on milk strawberry parfait because dessert first for proper food combining. That's how we do it. Keep your posture good, your chin up, your eyes down, and let's start making some really delicious Brazil nut milk is what we're going to do. So this is our super strong, super powerful Vitamix. We're going to put about maybe 3 cups tops. But you really don't want to go past this mark because it works your blender too hard and it's harder for you to work. Remember, if you can get your blender to blend without having to use this tool in it, which is totally safe, it doesn't reach the blades, you've done a pretty good job and you'll rarely see me using this tool. You will today to make the strawberry parfait though. Okay, here we go. A little, you know what, instead of using regular water, why don't we use coconut water because it'll just taste so much better. Just a little couple hacks in here. And this is open. All right. So the thing about the coconuts to remember is just use the back of the knife. We're going to pour this through a filter in case any debris came out. We're not going to put too much in there either because we have to make a fine cream first. Remember the rule for milk is make a very luscious cream first and then thin it out and make a really smooth milk. That's the deal. And if you put too much water at first, you'll never get a really thick cream going. And it'll be a shame because it's so much better when you have that. Okay, always the 5 usual suspects for any sweets. The 5 usual suspects are cinnamon, vanilla. I love vanilla bean. Look at this. Just the more you put, the better your food. Okay. Some beautiful Hawaiian salt. And I think about, and it's always, remember, on those 3, it's always going to be half a teaspoon. On cinnamon, vanilla, and salt, always half a teaspoon. Okay? Now, with honey, that's not a half a teaspoon anymore. We're talking about probably a good, half cup, maybe a little bit more of honey. Okay, you want your milk sweet. When you serve people milk and you go, oh yeah, it's raw, and they expect it to just taste bland or kind of nutty or something. But if you give them this milk and it's like really creamy and really sweet, people are amazed, and you turn people into raw fooders. That's what I do. That's my job. All right, here we go. We're going to take this thing out because I don't think I'll need it. Let's see. You might have to turn your blender down once or twice and give it a little shake to get any air pockets out of there. That's a little handy trick. There we go. All right. So our milk is done. We have a nice thick cream, you can see. Like not even one drop will come out of this. And that's just pure Brazil nut, like sweet cream. You could put that in the dehydrator and make cookies. You could spread that on toast and it would be a beautiful, delicious jelly of sorts. You could, let's see, you could do so much with this. Or you could just thin it down and make a lot of milk, which is what we're going to do. Okay, now I know my blenders and I know Brazil nuts, how they act. You're going to need to make like a little pocket in here kind of, so the water you put in here right now is going to be able to reach it, or it'll just sit on top. And then you'll turn your blender on and nothing will happen. So here we go. So we'll put the remainder of the water from the coconut. And, we have so much cheese here, we're going to actually do probably 2 more coconuts to tell you the truth. And then this is like called coconut to go. It's a little trick. You just open it with a little, because you can't carry, this around with you. It's kind of not cool. So, but you can still take your coconut to go. You slice right through this super fine flesh, and it's and then you have it, and all you need is a little straw, and you don't need a big knife. So, it kind of works like I said, better for public. Okay, so you cut this out. All right, boom. Yeah, I used to drink coconuts for 8 years, and I didn't drink water for 8 years straight. I didn't have any water, but I did drink coconuts every day, but no water. It was cool. I was like, I don't know why I stopped. I just kind of, you know, change, do different things. No, just kidding. Did I scare you out there? Yeah, be careful doing this. If you're a pro, you can do it this way. If you're not, just kind of do the back of the knife thing. But this way is just faster when you're, you know, catering or something, and you have to open like 1 million coconuts. You better know how fast. It's not a relaxed situation anymore. All right. Now we can just turn our blender on. We always start on low. Here we go. And you have really beautiful Brazil nut milk. So I have so much milk, it's up to here, but the Vitamix is so cool. What would you do if you took the lid off? It would go everywhere. Look at this. You just pour out of the top. Isn't that great? They thought of everything. And the lid stays on, so you don't have to worry about the lid flying off and creating a mess. So then you just take the lid off, and then you just pour the rest out. And you have this really beautiful, perfect milk. Let's pour a glass of this. Look at that. Isn't that great? Okay, so we're going to pour some in this nut milk bag. You've seen this happen before. It's a good idea. It strains everything out. Remember, if you're making smoothies, it would be fine, or cereal. But if you're making like things like that are supposed to be thin without any grit, like cappuccinos or glasses of milk or something, or this strawberry parfait, you do need to strain this. It is a little bit of a process, but just meditate while you do it. Stand straight. Don't be leaning. Don't be like this. You know, be like this. You know, get some good yoga and bend at the knees. Tuck your tailbone in. Just kind of, you know, life should be done in yogic fashion. So always kind of work that deal. But what you do with this pulp is you can mix it with blueberries, walnuts, honey, cinnamon, and make cinnamon rolls, blueberry cinnamon rolls, blueberry muffins. It's really great stuff. So just play with it. Put it in your dehydrator. If you don't have a dehydrator, get one. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that's enough. Okay, here we go. So I have this stuff called Irish moss parfait. You keep hearing about it. What is it? This is it. This is Irish moss. It's Irish moss seaweed. It looks like this when it starts, but it turns into this after 24 hours of soaking in filtered water. I recommend glass bottled spring water. Glass bottled is always best. After you soak it for 24 hours, you wind up with this kind of pretty rubbery, big kind of stuff. So I'm going to take this stuff, and here's where the magic happens. Well, part of it, anyways. We're going to put it in the blender. Remember, not too full, because we don't want it too full. You know, try not to stick your fingers in the blender like I just did. Okay. All right. Okay, we're going to blend this with a little bit of filtered water. When I say a little bit, I'm, you know, probably probably half a cup of water. But we're going to add a lot more, not a lot, but we're going to add more very shortly. Yeah. So we're going to turn this on. Looks like we're going to have these on. So, there we go. So now we have this really interesting kind of jelly stuff, okay? It's very, pretty unique, kind of crazy. Doesn't obviously taste very good by itself right now because it's just water and seaweed blended up. But we're going to fix that really quick here. So we're going to put this gel in this little cocktail glass that we use. Just like this. You're all out there going, yeah, I'm not eating that. Yeah, you will, trust me. Not in this state, but you will eat this for sure, and you will love it. Okay, so we'll put this gel in the freezer for 24 hours. After it's in the freezer for 24 hours, it turns into this kind of thing, okay? It turns into like some type of, now frozen, really cold, thick gel. Strange thick gel, okay? So we put this back in the blender, goes into the Vitamix. All right. Now I don't think I'm going to need this tool this time, so we're just going to turn the Vitamix on and blend it. And I'm going to add some of our filtered milk in there. So slowly adding about slowly adding milk. See where just probably about 3 tablespoons to begin with. Okay, here we go. Okay, now we got it. Do you hear how it's turning over now? That's what you're going for. You're just going for it turning over. So you can add the rest of the ingredients, which is 2 spoons of honey. We're gonna put a little, obviously, the half teaspoon of cinnamon, like maybe not even a half a teaspoon, a small half teaspoon of salt and vanilla. I guess more of a pinch. Now we add a little olive oil, about 2 tablespoons, and we're going to add just a little bit of lemon juice. And about half teaspoon Okay, I know that seems like a lot of work, but your end result is amazing. Okay, you have this great, white, beautiful pudding that is amazing and wonderful, and it is totally nut and seed free. It is just salad. Look at this. And I know you saw me put 2 last ingredients in there, by the way, and I want to tell you what those were. Those were about 2 tablespoons of coconut butter, so 2 tablespoons of coconut butter oil, and maybe a 1/4 cup lecithin, or just a tiny bit than a 1/4 cup of lecithin. Soy lecithin is really cool. It just kind of emulsifies everything. It's a great little tool. It makes everything, kind of gives it a gelatinous kind of feeling and texture to it. Okay, so now we're going to scoop this, what we made, out. And we are going to put this in the freezer. There we go. Again, for 24 hours. We're going to put this in the freezer now. And when we put it in for 24 hours, we pull this out. Okay? So now we have a really nice, cold kind of cream. I'm going to take this little bowl right here because I want to separate some of this out because this is a plain. It's delicious. It's sweetened. It's vanilla. It has everything it needs to eat just like this. But I don't want to eat it just like this because I want to take half of it out. Boom. And leave that for later so I can have, because right now I'm going to put the rest of this back in here. Here we go. And that's about 2 cups. So I'm going to put that 2 cups back there, and I'm going to add some strawberries and some honey and some cinnamon to this now. So I'm going to flavor this. Now I could flavor this any way I want. I could flavor it chocolate if I added chocolate, lemon, key lime, anything, any way you want to flavor it. A little Heavy vanilla could be a flavor. It would taste like a liqueur, coffee. We've made every flavor you can imagine. We've made chai. There is no, bee pollen flavored, raspberry. Any of the fruits are great. Blueberry is wonderful. If you get great blueberries, you'll have a great blueberry parfait. So and this is our parfait is going to happen, but we're going to have a strawberry parfait today, not blueberry, strawberry. So as this, I'm going to add a little strawberry in here, just kind of probably, a cup of strawberries. And I froze those strawberries. Those are frozen strawberries, but I froze them myself. It's okay to buy them too, but I like frozen strawberries. So let's see, a little coconut butter, tiny bit of that. And then once again, we'll put the little pinch of salt, pinch of cinnamon, pinch of vanilla bean. And 2 more spoons of honey. That's about 2 tablespoons right there. And we will blend this up with our amazing Vitamix. Here we go, start on low. Here we go. So we wind up with our beautiful strawberry parfait. This goes in the refrigerator for about 2 hours. And then what we take out is this delicious, don't worry about the sides because we're actually going to fill that up all the way. If you had to be careful, it would be fine, but you don't because you are going to put a little vanilla in there and then fill it up all the way. Well, this didn't turn out as easy as I thought it would be. It was still a little cold is what it was. And then we'll go back with some strawberry. There we go. So you have a little, white in the middle, little surprise white stuff. Okay, I'll put a strawberry on top of each of those. We'll get a little mint leaf. We'll have this beautiful parfait. Whoops, that one went in the wrong way. There we go. We have, in 2 hours in the fridge, we will have this amazing strawberry parfait. Remember, this could have been any flavor, but we picked strawberry. Hi, welcome back to Raw, the uncooking show. First, to make nut cheese, we need to make seaweed. Why? Because instead of using the water from the just regular filtered water, which is great, I'd rather use water that has marinated seaweed in it. And that's easy to do. You just put some 5-colored seaweed and some wild black seaweed. Both of those, if you can't find them, you can just get on planetraw.com. A little water. And in minutes, in about a minute, these 2 seaweeds are ready to eat. They're great on salads, soups, wraps, just pretty much anywhere. They're just wonderful. You can see they're all colors. They have these white, really crazy tasting, like very meaty kind of seaweeds. There's red seaweed, this emerald green stuff. It's really nice. So I'm going to pour this in a colander. Let this just drain. And now I have seaweed water, okay? So I don't really actually need to put that in the blender right now. Let's now work on our nut cheese. Okay. To make nut cheese, we're going to make pine nut cheese. You can use any nut you want, any combination of nut or seed. It could be pumpkin, pistachio, pine nut. You could put a bunch of mint. You could put a bunch of ginger. You could put a bunch of kimchi in it. You can do whatever you want. There's no rules, nothing. There's just, adventure in nuts and seeds and cheeses. So anyways, we're using straight pine nut. Why be so boring? Because when you use just one nut, some things really come out very similar to its counterpart in the cooked food world. Like if I just used macadamias, it would taste just like ricotta cheese. Pine nuts are very neutral, so it's just like a kind of just general cream, which is what I'm looking for. A very neutral cream, because I'm going to use it in several different dishes. So I can go Thai, I can go Italian, I could do whatever with this stuff. Okay, I'm going to leave my water to the side so you guys can get a good view of the cutting board. That, by the way, was about, say 2 cups of nuts. Okay, so I want you to have a view of the cutting board because the garlic is very interesting here, what we do to garlic. We not only chop garlic and chop off the top and peel it, but we also do this little maneuver to it. It's called, we just open it up. Let me see if I can get a good one for you guys. Here, we just kind of open it up, and when there's a big center in it, we kind of just pull that little center out. Just kind of pull the center out of it, okay? Just throw that in the sink over there. So we decenter garlic as well, if need be. Like if it has the green kind of sprout is what we're talking about. Just take that out. It's better for digestion. Okay, these all don't really have that, so we can just drop these in. Just drop in about a tablespoon of garlic. Also about, maybe a tablespoon of ginger. Get these little ears in there, perfect. So, tablespoon of that. We definitely want to go with some kind of salt and soy sauce in here for sure. A little bit of each always works best. So a little bit of soy sauce, just a touch, and a little bit of salt. That's probably a teaspoon of each. I mean, a teaspoon of soy sauce, sorry, and a half a teaspoon of salt. Always a half a teaspoon of salt. Okay, we're going to grab some rosemary. Check this out. Beautiful rosemary. I like rosemary and cheese. I really like rosemary as a spice in general. Wonderful spice. Just very serious, very, rosemary. All right, has a nice name, but it's not a, tough spice. Okay, so a lot of rosemary in there. You can't really go wrong. Just pull it down the sides. Really, about 1/4 of a cup of rosemary. I mean, that sounds like a lot. My friend said, that's more rosemary than I've ever eaten in my whole life. Okay, yeah, I know. Well, we're serious. Okay, so your nut cheese is basically done now. Maybe a little lemon to finish it off. That's three tablespoons, so 1/4 cup, whatever you call it. So your nut cheese is basically done right now. Now all you have to do is blend it. You're going to have to add a little of the seaweed water that we made to get it to turn over, not too much, just the right amount. And if you add just the right amount, it'll be a thick cheese, but it'll turn over by itself. You won't have to get in there with my tool. You're pretty much good to go. So here we go. Turn it on low. Let's start this up. It's very important for you to all learn this cheese, by the way. This is the basis of all food. Please learn how to make cheese. When you know how to make cheese, you know how to make basically everything, and you won't need real cheese, which is, less than excellent. Let's just say that, okay? All right, here we go. Okay, so we have this beautiful, creamy, amazing cheese. We could make this into any sauce. We could take this any direction. We could keep it Italian because it's kind of Italian with the rosemary, but we could still go Thai. We could go any way we want with this. It's really cool, very versatile, and you're going to see amazing things that we do with this. So we're going to put this to the side for a moment, put our seaweed over here. Okay, remember to keep your section clean. And we're going to pull this little tool out. This is a mandolin. This is a wonderful tool. It just slices things really easy. It has a safety gadget in here so you can't hurt yourself. And you just slice away and you can make little kind of crazy shapes. You can make French fries out of it. We use it for breadsticks. We use it for all kinds of things. But right now we're going to use, it has a different setting. And if you don't want it to cut in like long spheres, you can just put on the what's it called setting, the just disc setting. And the disc setting allows you to just get it. And it is a little bit bigger than it can fit in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to use the safety. It's okay. It's not that dangerous without it. And I'm just going to use it. I'm going to make sure my fingers don't pass this point. So I can just get a nice little, and you can see how easy this works. It just gives you a little, maybe that's set a little low. Set it just a little bit. There we go. There. And you can see how this slices, how nicely this is slicing just these little discs. But these are a little too paper thin. This one's perfect. So we'll just keep going here. Okay, we'll do a few like that, and you can see how fast this goes. You got like 20 already, just in 1 second. These are these nice little paper thin disc things, okay? So what are these really? What are we going to do with them? Okay, this is a great little question here. Thank you to the mandolin. Yes. I really recommend that one because unlike the plastic little ones, they kind of break quickly. This is guaranteed 200 years, so it's pretty good guarantee on that, you know, 200 years. I mean, I rarely hear a guarantee that long. So anyways, you put your discs in a bowl. Now these are so thinly chopped. They are pliable. They're not, if we chop them thicker, obviously they would crunch when they break, but they're so thinly chopped, they're totally pliable. So it's kind of like, what? A wet pasta noodle that just came out of the boiling water. Think about it, right? It like just came out of boiling water, it's so pliable. So that's what we're gonna go with. If we put a little bit of salt, just a tiny bit of salt and olive oil on there for just a moment. A little bit more, boom. Okay. And by the way, I don't know if I announced what we're making with this, but out of this beautiful, what is this called? A Chioggia beet. Out of this beautiful Chioggia beet, I always call it a Grateful Dead beet. That's what I was almost going to call it because it's kind of like the Grateful Dead colors. Anyways, out of this beautiful Chioggia beet, we are going to make raviolis. And my sister invented these raviolis, Carol Brotman, you know, first and years ago in some crazy city, and then I kind of copied her and stole the recipe and kind of went different ways with it. But she did really come up with these first, I have to say. And she's pretty amazing. She came up with a lot of the raw food recipes that we've made in the past, the meat potatoes, a few other things. She's pretty genius in the kitchen. Anyways, so we have these, now they're marinated. Now we have the salt and olive oil kind of chemically changing the composition of these things, okay? So now they're becoming even more gluey, doughy, greasy, and pliable. So we're gonna take a few of these, and we're going to just put them on the cutting board like this. And watch what we can do with these. Wipe off our hands. And we're going to take just a little bit of our nut cheese, just put it in the center, just like this. Okay. Then we're going to take another one on top, just kind of cover them up like this. So now we have these amazing giant pink raviolis, okay? And these are cool because we'll put these on a little plate like this. Almost lost my mic there. And then, boom, we have these beautiful plate of raviolis. And if you serve this to someone, they don't even know what to say when they see this. Now, you can even go a little more crazy with this dish. It's great. Obviously, you throw a little parsley on there, you know, for sure. But you could even go with a little crazy tasting oils, like maybe do one, let's pull a pumpkin seed out of here. This is pumpkin oil. It's great stuff. So just put like a little drizzle, has beautiful brownish color, it's amazing. We'll pull pumpkin seed oil out of there. We'll put a little truffle oil on one. You could put hemp oil. Maybe we'll do a little hemp on one. Whoa. We'll do a little hemp, get that a little bit better. Maybe that's enough, I think. And we'll do, how about flax on the other one? Just to give it a well-rounded kind of versatility. Okay, so a little flax on one. All right. And, you know, we could even go be just a little more daring with, how about a little more of our rosemary, just to kind of tie it together. Just a little rosemary kind of ripped up, kind of big pieces, so you get one every once in a while, not every time. And there's some beautiful, let those oils kind of mix up, and there's some beautiful raviolis that we made. The next thing is we're going to do is we're going to scrape our cheese out of this blender, and we're going to scrape our cheese out of this blender and make a spicy kind of a soup. So to make this spicy soup, the basis of this cheese, it's a spicy chowder. I'm sorry about that, spicy chowder soup. So that's what we're using our seaweed for. And to make this chowder soup, the base of this spicy, creamy chowder soup is nut cheese. So we're definitely leave some of our nut cheese in there. Okay, let's see. Probably that's a little too much. Not more than about 1.5 cups of nut cheese, because this nut cheese is pretty creamy and it goes a long way. Okay, we'll move this to the side. So we have our 1.5 cups of nut cheese. We're going to add some water to that. Going to add about, and we'll check if we have any seaweed water left. If we have seaweed water left, which I think we have a little bit, we'll use that too for sure. Okay, so we'll add a little water, maybe a little more. I know for that amount of cheese, it probably takes about 2 cups of water. So that's 2 cups for sure now. Maybe even a little more, but that's okay. And we're going to put a piece of garlic and a piece of ginger in there, just to give it some, more flair. Here we go. A little black pepper, a little salt, a little black pepper. Where is our black pepper? Here it is. Okay, boom. And then we are going to put in just a piece of cilantro and a little tiny bit of rosemary. There. Now we're going to blend this soup up. Turn everything on low, of course. And I forgot, I'm going to actually mix a little soy sauce in there too. Just a tiny bit of soy sauce. There. A little soy sauce in there. I'm looking for a texture that's pretty. I'm going to turn this off, pull it off the base before I stick a spoon in there. I'm going to get a texture in there that's pretty good, that's pretty creamy, but not too watery either, because I like creamy kind of soup. And this is a perfect texture. So it's about 2.5 cups of water, about a cup of nut butter. So let's take our seaweed that is drained. Here it is. We'll put this in a bowl. We'll pour this over it. See how beautiful this looks. And put a little jalapeno in there for the spice, because it is spicy chowder. Just a little, about a half a tablespoon. Half a tablespoon, you guys be a little extra spicy chowder. I'm going to put some fresh cilantro in there. I know I put already cilantro in the base, but I want to put some fresh in there, and parsley as well, because it adds a little, it adds like texture, for sure. And then a little flax. Whenever I deal with anything fishy or kind of going for a fishy kind of scent or flavor or whatever, I put a flax in it, because it always makes it fishier when we make the pumpkin pate, salmon. Let's give this a little stir. I'll use my nut cheese spoon, so I don't have to wash new spoons or fight with the forks. Okay, here we go. And I know, maybe I'll put a tiny bit more jalapeno, because the soup is a little bit big. Boom. Okay. I know this is going to be amazing, and I'm going to take a little bite and see what I think here. That is spicy chowder stew, and it's great. You can warm this up on a stove top if you want, not past 120. It's still raw if you warm it up, so you can have raw, warm food. You don't have to eat cold food for your whole life. You can do, I recommend warming it up. This is one soup that's great warm. But we're going to make another soup right now that is better cold. Isn't that great? It's better cold. So I'm going to just use this same blender, and we're going to take colored tomatoes. We're going to go for more of the yellow and orange ones. That's what we should be using. More yellow and orange than red. I didn't find many yellow and orange at the market today, so I just kind of will use some red. But usually go for the yellow or orange is the best, actually. Here we go. All the heirloom tomatoes are actually great. Every heirloom tomato is just wonderful. So this is a tomato herb soup. We call it big herb soup. And we just put a lot of herbs in it, and that's all it really takes. It takes all the herbs except for mint. So it gets basil, just a little piece of basil. Not much either. Just a little basil, tiny bit of rosemary. Remember, just pull down your stem. Let's see, how about some parsley? It's not how about some parsley, it's for sure some parsley. Now, cilantro and dill are the two spices. It gets a lot more of. So a little cilantro, not a little, more cilantro than anything else, and more dill than anything else. So dill, here's some dill. This is tarragon, so a tiny bit of tarragon, just the tiniest bit of tarragon. And this is pineapple sage and thyme, just regular thyme mixed together. So I'm going to put some of that, and a little fennel sprig. Okay. So a little fennel too. So this is why we call this herb soup, obviously, because there's tons of herbs in here. And I think I might need to put a few more tomatoes in there, to tell you the truth, just to get it to kind of blend. Now, I wish I had seaweed water to do this soup, but I don't, because I used it all for my first soup. So I am going to just use regular water. It's okay. There's worse things. So I'm going to put this in there. Not much. Well, no more than that. Probably that much, because the tomatoes have most of the water for the soup. That's why it turns out creamy, even though you don't put much cream in it. Takes a nice hit of olive oil. Let's see. That's probably about, okay, so probably about 2 cups of tomatoes, 2 cups of, a cup of herbs, and water, probably 2 cups, cup and a half, and oil, 3 tablespoons, so a 4th cup also. So this is like a good mix right now. If I didn't use cold water, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a little ice for this, because this is a great chilled soup, as I said. So I'm going to just grab a piece of ice. Okay, I'm just going to put a little ice in here too. It's like I'm making a smoothie, except this is no smoothie. There's no regular smoothie. We're going to turn this on low, give it a little. The thing about this soup is we're not going to blend very long, because what makes the soup wonderful is if it's a little chunky, and we definitely want it a little chunky, okay? Let me grab a bowl. Right here we have one. We'll fill this up. And you can see this is a beautiful kind of yellow-green herb soup. It's wonderful. We're going to stir in a little salt. Did I put salt? Let me taste this and figure that out. Here we go. Okay, I definitely forgot to put the salt in there, but that's okay, because we'll just add a little bit. And then a tiny bit more oil on top. Just for some, like, it's liquidy, it's creamy. It's liquidy, it's creamy kind of effect. Just texture. Always texture. There we go. Give this a little mix, maybe a tiny bit more salt. Give this a little mix. Now let me try it, and I'm sure it's going to taste a lot better. Let me just rinse off one of these. Okay, here we go. Yum. So, about a nice half a teaspoon of salt, okay? So these are, remember our coconut we had before? This is our baby coconut. It's really cool. You need to get a cleaver to do this job. You're going to want to chop this coconut in half. You need a cleaver to do that job. So it's just kind of a good firm whack, and you pretty much, well, maybe another one kind of on the side, and you pretty much have it chopped in half. Okay, so you scrape out the insides. I already had that done though, so I wound up with about 2.5 cups of scraped coconut flesh, and I made sure there's no splinters in here as I scraped it. I'm going to marinate this with a little soy sauce. Well, you know what? I think I'm going to marinate it first with olive oil. And we need some lemon. I think I need a little refill of lemon here, just in case. Okay. So I'm going to marinate this with just a little olive oil and salt. I'm going to stir it up really quick and really just let it kind of be marinating along. The salt will, remember, change the chemical composure of everything. So it's great when you just have the salt kind of doing that for you. Okay. Now I'll add my soy sauce to it. Okay, a little bit of that. And this is now marinated coconut flesh. It's really good. You can definitely have it this way. You could serve it to your friends, put some herbs in there, some basil, some whatever, tomato pieces, sun-dried tomato pieces, whatever. And it's kind of like this delicious, amazing, really wonderful kind of steak or chicken or whatever you want to call it, right? But wait till you see what we're going to do with it. We're going to make even a little bit more marinade for it by starting with, you notice how we never wash our blender unless we're going into sweet. This is fresh mandarin juice. I love mandarins. So we're going to use some mandarin juice. We're going to use, I think we already put enough soy sauce, but we're going to put a little garlic and ginger in there. So probably, again, a tablespoon of garlic and a tablespoon of ginger. And a little piece of jalapeno, just to give it some extra spice. A piece of jalapeno is also about a teaspoon, teaspoon of jalapeno. Maybe some curry, so we'll throw in about 2 tablespoons of curry, 2 nice tablespoons. And I think we'll put in even a little bit of, how about a little pine nut? Why not? You have pine nut? Put in a little pine nut. And I like some herb in there, so I think I'll just empty out the parsley in there kind of. Just kind of put the parsley in there. Might as well, most of it anyways. That was about, 25 pine nuts. Maybe, now it's about 25 pine nuts, okay. 25 pine nuts and parsley, about a half a cup. So about a tablespoon of soy sauce. We're going to put olive oil. This, quarter cup is fine. And lemon juice, about 2 teaspoons lemon juice. And I think maybe this is looking a little bit, like watery. So what we'll do here is we'll just put a little bit of this water that's coming out of here. Not water, marinade, sorry. We'll put a little bit of the marinade from here, the original marinade that we had. Whoops, a little coconut flesh fell in there, but that's okay. All right. So we'll give this a blend. Blender on low, always. Vitamix is so great, just tears through it. We'll pour this in here, just a little bit of that. Touch up our knife so we don't have a messy kitchen. And we'll give this a stir. Now this is a really intense marinade for our coconut flesh, which is going to be great because once now we have the option at this moment to leave this like this or get a dehydrator sheet and just kind of place this on the dehydrator sheet. Now I would put this, if you don't have a dehydrator, just the way it is fine. It goes anywhere. that once it's dehydrated, it will go. But it's quite a really good treat when it's dehydrated. It's like this barbecue-y, kind of lamby kind of texture. It's just great. Okay, so I think that's enough on the dehydrator sheet. And I would put this in the dehydrator, but really quick, I'm just going to set it here because I'm also going to make some bacon. No need to wash the blender for this next marinade. It's very cool. We're going to get the mandolin right back in action again. And we're going to take zucchini. And this is a great trick because this is how you also make a lasagna noodles. So we're just going to take zucchini and kind of go make a few strips of bacon. What I'm making, the bacon and the coconut flesh, which we call cocoa jerky, is I'm making these for a wrap that we're going to have, a very intense wrap. It's called the Ariel wrap, and it's made after Ariel because she invented it. So this is the zucchini. We'll put the mandolin back to the side, and I guarantee you, in a couple minutes, I will have this zucchini tasting like bacon. You know what? Even I could move these two little leftover ravioli skins over. I already have kind of a marinating salt and oil bowl, which is exactly what you use. Just a little olive oil. When I say a little, it's like tablespoon tops, 2 teaspoons, tablespoon, and some salt. So even though this is, again, just like the noodles here, we cut them so thin that they're pliable. Not only are they pliable, once we put the olive oil and salt on them, they'll even be better. They'll be even more kind of like doughy. So same thing again. Marinades are easy. It's salt and olive oil. Okay, so these will represent lasagna noodles if you ever make lasagna, but today we're making bacon, strips of bacon, so that's what we're going to do with these. Okay, here we go. We're going to put a little bit of sesame oil in there. The reason sesame oil tastes so barbecue-y and bacon-y that this will really give it a good flavor. Okay? And we're going to put a little bit of, maybe a little garlic, just a tiny bit of garlic, and a little mesquite. So now we have a barbecue-y kind of flavor on them, really from the sesame oil, the garlic. It's all kind of barbecue-ish style kind of stuff on there. All right, we're going to just give a little stir like that. We're going to bring our dehydrator sheet back. And we're going to set these on the sheet now. I'm going to dehydrate these a little while with the sheet, and then after they dry a little more, then I'll take the brown sheet off, and we'll just use the straight one with the holes. The reason so they could dry on both sides quicker and easier. So we'll just spread this out, and these go in the dehydrator for about the bacon. Not very long, like 4 hours, 5 hours. The coconut flesh overnight for sure, so like 12 to 15 hours. But I set both of them already up at the right times, and I have them already done somewhere in here. There we go, and boom. I had switched them to the net, obviously, like I said, and what you come out with is this beautiful kind of lamby coconut jerky stuff and this great, nice, like kind of fatty, really flavorful bacon, which are both really good inside a wrap. They're great plain, but they're great in a wrap as well. I'm going to start on our Ariel macadamia salad. This is one more of her recipes that we're going to do today. So right now I have about 1.5 cups of just macadamia nuts, lightly processed in the food processor. Very lightly processed. You don't want to put, make a powder here for sure. You want them like, even some of them are whole pieces, as you can see. So we'll put a little mandarin juice in there. About 1 cup of mandarin juice, not too much. tiny, like, tablespoon of lemon juice. That should be plenty. We'll put some orange zest, some mandarin zest, sorry. Some mandarin zest in there. I love mandarin zest, you know, it's just great. All right. Zest is one of the best ways of getting zest in your life, so eat a lot. If you want zest for life, here it is. Okay. There we go. So we're just going to kind of put that orange zest in there. Get everything off the side. Whoops. Okay. A lot of basil goes in this salad. Move our little safety mandolin piece over here. So a lot of basil in your salad. A lot of basil in this one. I'd say about 3 cups, not pressed down. Maybe 4 cups really fluffy, 3 cups a little fluffy, and 2 cups pressed. Okay. And nice big leaves too. It's cool if it's chopped up small or big leaves. So you can go either way here. I kind of like the big leaves because it's kind of the salad part of it. And people are always scared of big basil leaves, but it kind of teaches them to not be scared of them anymore. All right. I'm going to put a spoon of honey. So a tablespoon of honey. There we go. Tiny bit of salt. I'm going to wipe off my blender a little bit here. Little vinegar. This is apple cider vinegar. It's really good in here. So just, you know, vinegar is very strong, so always like 2 teaspoons about. This is probably the max you would put. And some goji berries. Goji berries are wonderful in here. They give this like red, bright color with the green and the white. It's very Christmassy kind of, even though it's not Christmas. Today, anyways. All right, so maybe a few more goji berries. When I say a few, probably 2 tablespoons of goji berries. Give it a good mix. And this is pretty much done. We have a really nice bowl already, but I'll clean off the sides with a scraper. So it looks a lot better when we serve it. And here's our macadamia. Macadamia, oh sorry, that's what we need, our endives. I said the macadamia endive salad, I was like, uh-oh. Ariel loves endives. The reason she loves endives is, and me too, is, check this out. You have this endive, you cut off the top, here's our endive, you cut off the top, you pull off a leaf, and you have this like perfect little chip. You can pretty much just dip it in anything and you have a great chip. If you fill it with some type of cheese and then put it in the dehydrator, it's even better. So we're going to chop up some endives in here. And this is about 2 cups of endives right there. Okay, make sure everything is in chopped pieces. Actually, 1 piece that's too big, so we'll just chop that in 4s if that happens. Okay. And now our salad is complete. And it's a very light, nice salad. It has some bitters in it, but the honey and mandarin juice and the zest make those bitters sweet. So it's a pretty delicious little guy right here. Okay, I found another little big one. So take those out. Don't be against repairing your food on the fly. All right. So here's our finished. And you know what, I should have cut the basil a little smaller because I was thinking, I know there's a big lettuce in here, but really it was the endive. The basil should be cut small, but it's okay this time. I'm sure it's going to be wonderful. So there's our finished product. It's a beautiful endive and macadamia mandarin salad. Ariel invented this. She did a great job on it. I'm really impressed with it. It's so simple, yet it's one of my favorite things. I'm going to top it with some avocado. Just a little avocado, thin sprigs like this. You know what I actually like to do? I remember I just recently made this salad and I put the avocado in there. You know what? I put the avocado in there, then I gave it a stir with the avocado, and it kind of made it a little bit creamy. The whole salad, it kind of made it nice and creamy. So I used half an avocado on the, but I think I'm actually going to use the other half as well. So to remove the avocado seed, remember, just hit it, twist close to the thumb so you can just push it off. Okay. So I'm going to use a whole avocado in here, so I guess add that to the list of ingredients for your macadamia salad. And it's so cool because think about this, you guys. You don't have to use any equipment to make this salad. It was just very easy to prepare, and it's very different than any salad you'll ever have. That's what draws me to the salad. It's just so different, you know, it's just a total different thing. So there we are, and I'll sprinkle it with a little more goji berries because it still seems like I didn't get enough in there. There we go. Okay, so that's our beautiful, amazing macadamia salad. And we'll take a little break and we'll come back and we'll finish up a few other things like the wrap, and we'll have some tea for, no tea, for kind of a little dessert. Okay, you guys, welcome back to Raw, the uncooking show. Right now we're going to make a wrap. They're great recipes because you can just put whatever you have in your refrigerator, as long as it's raw, organic, and vegan, out and just wrap it up. We are going to use some of the stuff we've already made, and we're going to talk about first a little bit about our wrap. This is a collard green. It doubles as a really nice flexible burrito. Check that out. It's like just amazing. And then a nori sheet is really cool underneath it. And this makes for like a pretty interesting wrap. Whatever you put in here is probably going to be pretty good for sure. Okay, we're going to throw some nut cheese in there. Just kind of scoop that on. We already made this, so it's just sitting here, and we get to get another use out of it, versatility, but it will taste nothing. That's a little too much, actually. I went a little crazy with that one. Okay, here we go. Boom. Let's put back most of that. Okay, so this is really in one wrap, go edge to edge. In one wrap, I would say about a cup of nut cheese. Definitely a cup of nut cheese, okay? So kind of spread out like that is perfect. Next, you will put some kind of fluffiness goes in wraps because you have cheese. It does get avocado too, but I don't want to put my avocado near my other kind of like fat and kind of creaminess. I want to put it separate, so it has different levels, multi-textures. So why don't we put some mint in there? I'm going to use a lot of mint in this wrap because it's just like a real, like I'm going to use mint like it's lettuce, and it's just going to taste really, really amazing like that. And I'm going to grab some cilantro. And like the mint, use it liberally. What I'm talking about probably, I mean, you're going to laugh, but that's probably a cup of mint, you know, pressed, kind medium, and almost as much cilantro. So you're talking about 2 cups of herbs right here in mint and cilantro for this wrap. And that's, you know, quite a lot, but when you take a bite of it, your mouth will explode with flavor, so it'll be really well worth it. Putting this much herbs in there, plus it's so healthy for your body. This is just amazing. You'll be, you know, you'll be pretty buzzed off the herbs. Okay. All right, here we go. So you will put little tomatoes, you know, for sure. Boom. And there's going to be, I'm going to save a little tomato for the top too, just so the tomatoes kind of spread out. I love jerk chicken in this wrap. This is the stuff we made just now. Amazing. And you can see I'm going to take a little while before I put my avocado in there. I think bacon we'll put right near that. Maybe we'll put it separate and then put the avocado in the middle there. So just kind of placing is very important here. And making sure everything to the very edge has its equal amounts. I'm going to pick a really nice ripe avocado. This one feels perfect. Okay. Slice this open. You can see when you just get a little, you know, together with the avocado, you can I mean, with de-steaming the avocado, even if you miss a few times, so just hit it again, You will, don't hit it too hard, obviously, but, because you'll go through the avocado, but if you just give it a nice little tap, it's perfect, you know, for getting the seed out. All right, avocado. Avocado is great for you. No, it's not fattening. There's no saturated fat in avocado. There is saturated fat in avocado actually, but it's good saturated fat because it's raw. Bad saturated fat is cooked. It's an easy way of looking at it. Anything cooked is obviously going to stick to you kind of. You know, it's kind of gluey. It changed its molecular structure with the nature's most infamous and dangerous element. So you really want to stay away from that stuff. You know, I always say eating cooked food is like playing with fire. So, okay, so our avocado, and you can notice, check this out, how we slice the avocado out is how we place this on the board, in the wrap, so just kind of get skinny, you don't even have to cut, it saves you a step, you know, that's pretty much it. Okay, this wrap gets a lot of oils in it, okay, so I'm going to put some oil now, I'm going to put a little shot of hemp oil, a little shot of flax oil, and these are like about 2 tablespoons each. And pumpkin oil is a little more concentrated, so just maybe 1.5 tablespoons, maybe 1 even. Okay, I'm going to put a tiny bit of soy sauce in here. Just a little bit across the top, just for flavor. Kind of connected to that parsley, but just maybe 1 more. So that's 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, actually. Not large tablespoons, but tablespoons. Okay, here we go. Lemon, for sure. Wraps love lemon, but always be careful with lemon because you can actually ruin your food if you put too much lemon. So, 2 tablespoons of lemon as well. Definitely some of this jalapeno, pretty much all of it. This isn't very much jalapeno for as large wrap as we are making here. And I just noticed they have our kimchi for us. I love kimchi. It's a delicious food. It does smell weird, obviously, but you get to know it and love it. And kimchi is wonderful in wraps. It tastes like some weird fish or something. It's great. It's like just so good. Let's just put this down. Get some kimchi in here. Look at these colors, how beautiful. I mean, everything's gorgeous in this food. There we go. And you can be kind of liberal on the kimchi. Believe me, this wrap is big, so everything, be a little liberal on it because you're going to, it's a big wrap. It needs, it needs it. It's like, this is not going to be a skinny wrap. Okay, so when you salt it, you kind of salt it. Like watch this. Kind of give it more salt than you would usually a wrap, because if your wrap is this fat, obviously it's going to take more salt. And I'm surprised sometimes I put salt on here and I kind of put a lot, and salt being the most important thing, obviously. I kind of put a lot of salt and, and it still needed salt. So it's like sometimes once or twice I put too much salt. Yes, I've made something bad once or twice. So I put too much salt. And, it was obviously terrible. So you have to really, so the salt is the really key element to a wrap. It's, you better get it right. It's not sushi where you dunk it and decide how much soy sauce you get on it. This is not going to be dunked, and, it's pretty serious, okay? So that's all I want to say about that. So the wrap needs 1 dressing to go with this. Of course, the Vitamix comes into play whenever it's some kind of sauce. 99% of the time, it's Vitamix. We need to make what we call magic sauce. And magic sauce is wonderful. It's one of our deepest secrets that we have, and it's like one of the best sauces we make. So it's this red heirloom sun-dried tomato. They're beautiful. I'd say that's, close to a cup. That's a cup. And then a cup of fresh tomato. You can use heirloom. Cherry tomatoes are actually heirloom, so they're wonderful, especially in winter, all through winter when there's nothing else available. A nice, hit of soy sauce. That's probably a 1/4 cup for sure. Couple pieces of ginger, like, say a heaping tablespoon of ginger, probably. And then, 4 medium-sized cloves of garlic. I think this also takes a little bit of lemon juice, so we'll put some of that in there. And some major rosemary. So you know how to do rosemary here, everybody, right? Just pull it off the stem. Let's put one more in there. Rosemary. It's just, you don't, I used to, first time, obviously, I've sat there like everybody else and like, okay, that's how you do it. Then you're like, hold on a second here. So let's put one more rosemary in there. Boom. One more rosemary. And then a nice amount of oregano. Oregano, it seems to have fallen between the cutting board. Oh, there it is. I see you. Here you are. Our herbs all got mixed together, but I know them. They're very easy to identify. So a little oregano. Just stems and all, because the stems are so soft, might as well put them. They're not tough stems at all. So I think we should blend them up. It must be healthy for us. Okay, that's really it. That's secret sauce. We're going to blend this. I probably don't need my tool. Start on low. There's so many tomatoes in here, we aren't going to need even any water to blend this, by the way. That is looking a little thicker than I like secret sauce, so I'm going to thin it out with a little more soy sauce. This is a concentrated, this is pretty concentrated, so you don't use much of this anyways. So I'm going to give it another probably 2 tablespoons of soy sauce and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and 2 tablespoons of water. Okay, so we're changing that recipe just a bit. That's okay, we'll put that when we give you the little list rundowns. We'll make that correction for you, so don't worry about it. So see, this is what we're doing this for. It looks like we're going to need about a cup of water in there. There you go. And let's say 2 cups. Cup and a half. Sorry. Cup and a half of water. That's where we're at. I'm sure of it. Okay, so now we have our secret sauce. Looks pretty thick, thicker than usual, but that's okay. I think it was maybe supposed to get a little nut cheese in it, but we'll leave it out this time. Like the nut cheese, it's so versatile. It's nice to make a sauce and you can use it for multitudes of international flavors instead of just like, okay, I made it, it's kind of done, it's going to sit in the fridge. Now I got to waste, food and energy and products and all that stuff. Okay, so the number one reason is you can see most of these ingredients did not come out of a package. The ones that did are still raw from my friends' factories. They're all super cool, they're all great people and really high-end products. But most of the real products that we used did not come out of any factory. They came out of the garden, and you really want to look through the whole thing and just say, do I want to eat out of a factory or do I want to eat from the garden? Do I want to eat from Mother Nature or do I want to eat from just, some person, in a factory? So there's a big difference, okay? All right, here we go. So I'm going to put a little more sprouts in here. Some sprouts in here. About, just, spread them across the top liberally. And I think a little shredded cabbage. Boom, just like that. So now you can see all these beautiful colors that we got going here. Let's just kind of turn that over. See all those really nice colors. I think I got pretty much everything in here that it's needed. And I'm just going to wrap this up. It's really easy to wrap, guys. Don't let wraps intimidate you. I don't even use the sushi roll. I just kind of, look, this is sticking out this time, so I would pick this up kind of and just rip it over kind of like, But just to prove a point, I'm going to go the harder way. I'm going to go this way and watch this. I'm just going to show you how, as long as you are not intimidated, just grab it and push it down. See? You are okay. And then look. Boom, boom. Oops, here we go. And there we go. Well, I got it around the lettuce, which was what was my mission. Anyways, with this nori. Okay, well, here we go. I thought I had it. Okay, repaired. So here we go. We have this wrap just like this. It's awfully big on the sides, but that's okay. It looks, interesting that way. If you would like to, once you cut through this, you can always take another piece of nori and just kind of place it on there, so you have it that way, like this. Okay. Boom. Okay. So you could, really serve this to anybody, and they would be amazed at what you are serving them. They would be like, they would be quite amazed at this creation, because it's unlike anything. I mean, think of the ingredients in there. Think of the processing that we went through for it. Think of the amazing, rawness of it. It's just really just wonderful. And when you eat one of those, it's a whole new burrito that's never been tested, never been tasted, never been experienced before. Just amazing. We have a little bit of time, so with just the extra little bit of time, I want to make just a quick little special thing. It's really delicious. It's a tea, but I call it no tea because it's not really tea, but it is. But it's, so here we go. You start with fresh mint. So in a size this big, this would be plenty. So it's about a cup of mint, okay? So 1 cup of mint. You would also put ginger in here. So I would use ground ginger, minced ginger, from the food processor. It just makes it really easy. The ginger doesn't last long once it's minced, so please make sure you don't save it or keep it too long. Use it while you have it. So that's a little too much ginger. So we'll say a cup of mint and a teaspoon of ginger. How about that? Maybe a little teaspoon and a half of ginger. Okay. We will now go to one of the great parts of it is lemon juice. So we'll put the lemon juice in there. Okay. So we have this just like little mix. It was about, a quarter cup of lemon juice. And we have this mix. We have hot water immediately out of the tap right here. So we'll just use that. Here we go. All right, we have this beautiful tea right here, and it's going to get even better because we're going to put some of this in the tea, some honey in the tea for sure. Now you're liberal with the honey and tea, so that was like probably, I like it sweet, so let's say a tablespoon for everybody else out there who's kind of different than me. A tablespoon of honey. The reason you're so much honey is because you put a lot of ginger and you put a lot of lemon juice. And when you put honey and lemon juice together in major amounts, both of them, so it's really strange in your mouth. Okay, so it's like, whoa, what is that? So we have this beautiful tea. We'll just pour it through here. We'll take one of the mint leaves out, we'll float it on top. Well, maybe not. Since mint leaves were blanched, they're just a little, they have a little brown in them, and we want to keep everything looking really fresh and nice. So constant repairs to your food. If something's going on, you need to repair it, just make sure you're doing it. Okay, we have some fresh mint here. We'll use that instead. There we go. You can just, there's always time to make it look better. If you have nothing to do and you're sitting there and you're waiting for your guests, or you're in a restaurant and you have not very many orders up, then spend that extra time just making the food more beautiful, because there's always a way to do it. A couple tomatoes right here, or something, whatever, and placed nicely and decoratively, makes all the difference in the world. Like here. It makes, tons of difference, just for people in general. It looks cool, it's like exciting food. And the colors are so wonderful and fun that it's pretty amazing. All right, well, we're going to put all of our plates together, and we're going to surprise you with some amazing looking just spread of what we've really accomplished today. And when you spend 45 minutes like we just did making this at home, you too can have this spread, and you can actually just pick it up and eat it. So it's even cooler than 3D, which is pretty cool, obviously. All right, so thank you so much, and we'll see you next time on Raw, the Uncooking Show. Okay, welcome back everybody. I did forget one key ingredient in the secret sauce, so we're going to fix that right now. It's just olive oil. It's very easy. You can put it in through the top, turn your blender on, and as you pour olive oil, give it a little power. That was 2 cups of olive oil, so I want you to, so that's why I'm taking the time to prepare that ingredient. Sometimes you can just leave stuff out of a recipe, but that's a key element, obviously. So then you pour out this beautiful, orange, amazing magic sauce that goes with everything beautifully. Very Mexican-y, very American-y, really just a versatile thing. Here our coconut flesh, which was not dehydrated. This version was, so this will inspire you to go get a dehydrator. When you see how versatile they are, they make an amazing amount of more raw foods than you could ever do with just, the juicers and the blenders and the food processors. So please go get one. These are dehydrated coconut flesh, the bacon, the chowder seaweed stew, some sunflower sprouts I like to serve on the side always of my dinners, because they're just so light, and if you've never eaten one, it's actually a great discovery. You're like, wow, terrific. This was the strawberry parfait, amazing. This is the nut milk, our no tea, just, weird in the back of your throat. Then we move over to the macadamia salad. Very amazing, just like macadamia endive, orange juice, Ariel's invention. And the raviolis, the 3 oil raviolis, which are just, rich and delicious. And we finish with a wrap. So this wrap is pretty amazing. It's, a few of these condiments put in there. Definitely the secrets, the magic sauce. Definitely the chicken, the jerk chicken and the bacon. And just, I want you to look at this. This is you take a bite of this, you are going to be super happy, okay? This is filling, and if you, love food, then you will love Raw, because it's new. Thank you so much for watching the Uncooking Show, and, check back with us, because we're always, raw. See ya.